this morning. I'm not panicking this morning.
No, no, no. How you doing?
And of course, as you know, when you hear this song, you know the man is in the building. You know the man is in the building. It's just about that time we have a presentation of Batson and Associates with Dr. Batson himself. Good morning to you, good sir.
Good morning, sir. And how are you, sir?
I'm doing quite good.
Okay, glad to hear that. Let me say a pleasant good morning to the listeners of Sky 99.5. Always a pleasure to be in your company. But I just have to get the name of my new co-pilot this morning. I can't remember your name, sir. If you could remind me. It is Glendon. Lyndon. Okay, Lyndon. Right. So yes, Lyndon. Pleasant good morning to you again. And of course, we're discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective. We have some time this morning. I'm going to try my best for us to accommodate as much persons as possible, because you know when you're doing something you love and talking about something you love, you can kind of get carried away. So I don't want to talk about the whole show this morning, right? I'm going to ensure that I give try to answer as much questions as possible, because I always think, you know, regardless of what health topic we discuss or disease, because I mean, we have over 55, how much they reach now, but we have maybe about over 60,000 named diseases. I have to do some research and check how much, because we always get new ones, especially in the realm of cancer, for want of a better expression. You know, you have so many different types of cancer being discovered on a daily basis. So there are so many things out there. So a lot of times persons end up with analysis paralysis, because you have persons because in the abundance of information, sometimes you could have issues like there's a saying, you know, analysis paralysis, because you analyze everything that you come to a complete stop, because now you're bombarded by all this information. It's like, oh gosh, I don't know what to do, right? So we don't want to end up in that situation. However, we don't want to be, you know, because there are things you could check, there are things you could rationalize for yourself, because I mean, you have a certain level of intelligence. But then there are those who are the Google doctors. They go on and they Google, and it's because you're panicking, because you check, maybe you have a headache together with a back pain and a big toe pain, and you go on and Google that, and that say cancer, and you start to worry like a mad human being you have cancer. So please do not do yourselves that. You know those kind, right? I remember a client, someone had come to me and she said, Dr. Batson, I don't know what it is I have, and I don't know what it is I have, but I Google, and Google say, she said that Google say it. I said, but Google didn't say that to them, because I know where you went, and I know what you read. I said, but if you really read that properly, you have to take into consideration sometimes the opinions or the persons, the perspective in which people write things. So obviously, sometimes there are few people in the world who could boast at being unbiased, and impartial is what I want to say. So, you know, sometimes you might read something and you have to know the source, you have to know, you know, some the base or the origins of what is being said. And sometimes people don't really look at things like that. So that's just a word of caution. You know, don't go and just be diagnosing yourself, and then it's because you went and tell everybody you have cancer. And you never do a CA125, you never do any type of CT scan or anything that could really determine, hey, you have cancer, or you have something looking like cancer, or you have an environment that is conducive to causing cancer. All of those things I just said there, each one of them mean different. Because having an environment that is conducive to getting cancer and actually having cancer is two completely different things. So that's what we're going to discuss this morning. We're going to discuss thyroid health. I'm going to touch a bit on PMS with women, postmenopausal syndrome, because that continues to be a very A lot of persons concerned about that, a lot of persons having issues. We're obviously going to touch a little bit on pain, because pain is something that nobody likes to experience, but we have more and more persons experiencing pain, back pain, knee pain, waist pain, head pain, again, pain all over the place, and you don't know what's causing this pain. So we're going to touch on that, and as I said, of course, I'm going to try my best to ensure that we take your calls as effectively as we can, as well as any of your WhatsApp and whatnot. So I would allow Lyndon, is it? Yes.
Yes.
To give you the telephone numbers for the studio, and he will guide you accordingly where that is concerned.
All right. So I'll play the usual thing now, because some folks don't hear it when we say it about notes. They are accustomed to this.
Okay. Good.
We take your calls now. 625-2759. 624-7729. And also via WhatsApp at 333-9950. Via WhatsApp at 333-9950. Dr. Batson is in the house, so today he is giving some time to answer your calls and questions. So if you have any questions for Dr. Batson, now's the time to do so. Get your calls in.
Definitely. Let me say a pleasant good morning to our Facebook listeners, our social media. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Miss Pat Primus. She says, God bless. Good morning, Dr. Batson. Miss Perlin Henry Rajpaul, pleasant good morning to you. Maria Cooper. Honeybay is in the house with a good morning and a big heart. Miss Joan Bridget, pleasant good morning to you. Miss Joycelyn Rice, good morning to everyone. Miss J. Bean says good morning. Miss Dawn Charles, Pat Primus. So a lot of persons on our Facebook, and keep in mind, know the advantage of actually adding us on Facebook. A number of things. You always get notification when we have our lives. A lot of free and good, valuable information in a lot of those lives, because you could go in and listen to any one of those, the numerous ones that we have there. Miss Helen Richardson, Miss Pamela Moses, good morning to you. Miss Vidya Abdul. Becca, good morning to you as well. Miss Elizabeth Nanlal, she says, morning, Doc. So nice we can spend Sunday morning together. I'm coming to see you on Saturday in Debe. Do not disappoint me. LOL. I wouldn't. And I actually read that verbatim.
Yes.
No, I wouldn't set you up. I am scheduled to be in Debe, and I will be in Debe, God's willing, on the 12th. I've actually started back doing my schedule for the South office. It's not that I was delinquent with the South office. It's just that I had some things to see about. I was doing a lot of fixing with Shogunas, and then we have Tobago, our new office in Tobago, finishing up. So I have come back to the people of South. So I do apologize for the inconvenience caused, because I know some of you all had to come to see me in Shogunas. But I ensure that I'm going to, try and do Saudi justice that, like everybody else, deserves. Okay, so first day starting the 12th, Saturday the 12th. Okay, so those of you who may have had consultations that you were supposed to have with me, those of you who may have seen the consultants, and you understand everything, you're going good. For some reason, Lyndon, everybody wants to see Dr. Batson. I tell them that is humanly impossible from all aspects of. Yeah, it's just not possible, but I always try my best to, see as much people as I can. And a lot of the times it's just, maybe a 5 minutes or 10 minutes conversation as regards to what it is. Because we have, in fact, put systems in place to ensure that, the consultants that I have, Ms. Karishma Ramdan, Mr. Paul Green, Rene Bustamante, Mr. Vialva. I mean, these are well-trained individuals. I mean, some of them have been with me in excess 8-10 years. So, they're not green. They may be green looking, and that's just because of the products that they use as results of, and the knowledge that they have. Or they're supposed to be looking green. I'm just saying, I haven't seen one of them in a while.
Green is good.
Green is always good, right? So, keep that in mind, because it does make the system a bit easier. It sort of eliminates the weight. It even helps to reduce the anxiety and that type of thing. Because, I mean, I could give you numerous occasions where persons came, they dealt with the consultants, and at the end of the day, when they saw me sometimes for the second or the third visit. Based on that may be over a 6-month period. And when they see me, it's like, Dr. Batson, I'm good. But I just wanted to see you. So I see you now, good, everything. But before that, they were good. The circulation was corrected. The blood sugar is reading good. They have the arthritis is no longer there. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for results. And we want you to get the best results as effectively and efficiently as possible. I think that's the best way I could put it. All right, so keep that in mind. Keep in mind some of our star products that we carry, the eye optics formula, always are if you have any situation with your eyes, you know, if you have problems with, you spend a lot of times in front of the computer, you are a person who read a lot in your profession, you know, your eyes is an organ that it can become problematic, especially if you are a diabetic. Let me say that again, you know, I constantly appeal to the diabetics to take better care of themselves. I told somebody next year, I think I need to advertise myself properly as a diabetic specialist, because I think, I mean, even though when I did my PhD, that was part of it. But because of the results that I get with persons with diabetes, you know, I think I need to share that with a lot more persons. But some persons, you know, even though they may be listening to us or listening to me for a while, they don't understand that once you deal with human beings, there is the great possibility that Batson Associates would be able to help you. Great possibility. I am not a veterinarian. So if we deal with that other aspect, is, you know, you can't come to me for that. But I mean, from diet ethics as it relates to pregnancy, from infertility, hormonal imbalance in women, prostate problems in men, once we deal with the human body anatomy and physiology, we can help you. You know, so keep that in mind. So whether it's myasthenia gravis, whether because you have fancy, and you know, one of the things I like to explain to individuals, because just after Friday, I worked in, where that was, I worked with St. James, and I had this particular client, and, you know, we were having a discussion as regards to health in general. And she was, the person rather was saying that, you know, they eat pretty well, they do a lot of things, they drink a lot of water, whatever the case may be. But she was saying that something is missing. And then there was this particular diagnosis. You realize everyone now is getting an autoimmune diagnosis. You need to be careful with that. Everywhere you go now, if you have a problem with pain and swelling, they're telling you have arthritis and lupus. Be very careful with that. Keep in mind, a lot of the time, the symptomology is not important. You know. The symptomology is what is diagnosed as the disease. You know. What is symptomology? Symptomology is an end consequence of a greater problem. Always remember that. So if you have high blood pressure, which is elevated pressure, hypertension, we know from the perspective of anatomy and physiology, is high pressure in your arteries. Good. We know glaucoma is high ocular pressure. We know diabetes is elevated blood glucose levels, regardless of the type of diabetic you are, whether you're type 1 diabetic, which is lower producing insulin, but not non-producing insulin. There are few people who don't ever produce any type of insulin. There are a lot of things that you would have to do before you reach that stage where your pancreas is completely inactive. You may have a lethargic pancreas, you might have a lazy pancreas, you might have a pancreas that don't come to work on time, but he or it is not dead. I mean, you know, just to put it across in that. And because no organ in the human body could be dead and be inside of there, you're going to have some problems eventually, because death is going to come about by what? Lack of functionality, lack of blood flow, lack of connectivity, because everything is connected. So the thing is, if your pancreas is not producing sufficient insulin, that doesn't mean the pancreas is dead. As I said, it is lethargic, it is lazy, it takes a lot of days off, it doesn't come to work on time. So you just have a worthless pancreas. How do you fix that? Exercise, looking at different mineral aspects, because most people with serious pancreatic issues have serious mineral deficiency problem. So there are problems with magnesium, which is one of the most, there are most people in the world deficient in magnesium and they don't know. And the thing is, taking magnesium supplements just like that wouldn't necessarily help that, because then you have to look at electrolyte balance and what is known as intercellular or intracellular and extracellular fluid. Intracellular is fluid in the cells. Extracellular fluid is fluid outside of the cells. Your body always has to constantly maintain some level of equilibrium and balance within proper fluid balance. The minerals that are needed for that are magnesium, calcium, potassium, sodium. So you usually find a lot of people with hypertension, a lot of them focus on sodium. So they say you have excess. No, very, very rare an individual has excess sodium in the body. You're not supposed to be using table salt. I think by now everybody knows that. If you're still doing that when you need some licks or something, like something is wrong with you. We know by now that is not good for us. You're not supposed to be using that. There's a man-made salt. They made that in a lab. and that doesn't exist in nature. So obviously, if it is you consume that, it's going to throw off a lot of balance in the body, including electrolyte balance in the body. And electrolyte imbalance in your body is a very problematic thing that causes so many different issues. That's why I always appeal to people who drink a lot of coffee and let them know that they need to reduce the coffee, because coffee does do that. Coffee interferes with electrolyte balance in the body. Because when coffee is a diuretic, right? So all diuretics do one thing. They remove sodium from the body, and water follows sodium. Yeah, so that's a serious thing. So you're going to find using that can eventually expose you to problem with swollen limbs. So your ankles start to swell, your feet start to swell, your calves start to swell. Good? So it's a matter, as I was saying, with the pancreas. The pancreas is not dead. It is just lethargic. Well, if you're dealing with type 2 diabetes, which we know the pancreas is producing insulin, but the receptor cells are the problems. So you have what is known as, you actually have a more metabolic issue with diabetes, metabolic and digestive. Then you have type 3, which we know is gestational diabetes, which pregnant women experience. And the reason for that is because of the changes in the body, hormonal-wise. The most amount of hormonal upheaval a female will ever experience is during pregnancy. Everybody all over the place. Remember, your immune system has to function with hormones in order to not be able to recognize a fetus. A lot of people don't know pregnancy is a miracle. No, I mean, it's not a miracle. I mean, God in his wisdom know exactly what he do. He put certain things in place. But under normal circumstances, pregnancy is not supposed to take place, because any fetus is foreign, and your immune system is designed in such a way that anything that is foreign is what? Dealt with. There's actually a disease, there's actually a condition that some women could have where the immune system will actually begin to attack the fetus. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. And then they would have to put you on certain types of medication. I've never dealt with anybody with that situation, but I have known of cases where I have consulted overseas with cases like that. And that's a serious thing. So, you know, with all those things taken into consideration, you could understand hormonal imbalance. And gestational diabetes is one of the easiest forms of diabetes to deal with. You just have to understand balance in the hormones. Nutrition plays a vital part. Pregnancy is not sickness, so you should do some form of exercise during pregnancy. I'm not telling you to go and join a gym or run around the savannah, but you should do some sort of active stretching. Because you know, some when they tell you you're pregnant, they think that is it, party done. You gotta lie down whole day. No. The women who do that are the women who end up with gestational diabetes or gestational hypertension. So again, you know, my great grandmother used always to say that pregnancy is not sickness. You know, get up and move it. You're not going to do laborious work, pull and lift up and all this kind of nonsense. But still, activity is important. Water intake is very important. Hydration is important. So that was just to help you understand that, the high levels of glucose is a symptomology to a problem. You would have realized in those 3 instances, it is 3 different reasons, but all with an end result, with the same end result, which is high blood sugar or high glucose in your bloodstream. So that's something you need to understand. The iOptics formula is something you could look at. Nerve Restore, which we are a bit low on right now, but that's a product that we constantly have to replenish. Good product because it actually helps, with stress, sleep. Let me tell you something. You want a good night's sleep? If you think you're sleeping good now, get our product. You'll tell me something different. To the people who have dizziness, lightheadedness, you have been diagnosed with vertigo. What does that mean? It means that you're not getting sufficient blood flow to your brain. Why is that important? So let's look at the people who are affected by, so simple analogy, you have a garden, so you might have a garden, an acre in size, and you have irrigation set up, but the irrigation is only reaching half of the garden. So half is getting water and the next half is not getting water. The half that eventually is not getting water, what's going to happen? Everything there going to start to dry out, right? It's going to die. Good. Yeah. So take that analogy and transfer it over to the body. So we're talking about blood now. So you're getting blood in different parts of your body, but certain parts of your brain, your good brain, not getting blood. So it's just like the garden, the cells will eventually do what? They start to die. So when they tell you you have Parkinson's and you have Alzheimer's and you have vascular dementia and you have tremors and all these diseases that affect the central nervous system, neurological imbalance, it is because of lack of blood flow to the brain. All glaucoma patients, I have seen none with exception. There is no exception to the rule. If you have glaucoma, you do not only have a dehydration problem. Now, you may be drinking a lot of water. Nobody is saying no, but your body is not utilizing the water. Just like you could be eating good and your body is not doing what? Assimilating food. Basic biology teaches us that digestion is fundamental. We know that.
Yeah.
What is digestion? Digestion is proper. So because we know whatever meal you eat is going to have a number of different components attached to that meal. So it's going to have vitamins, it's going to have minerals, it's going to have macronutrients, macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, whatever the case may be. So you have a lot of things going on inside of that meal. It is your body's intention to derive maximum benefit from those nutrients.
Yeah.
Is your body doing that? That's the question you need to ask yourself. People who have digestive problems, so you have bloating, gas, belching. Well, if you're constipated, think real bad, which I'm telling you from now. If you have to always take a laxative to go in the washroom, emergency. You know that thing when you're on an island or what they use in the ocean, in the sea, where they send up those warning, the emergency. In other words, you have a problem. You have a serious, serious problem. Why? Because your immune system, which plays a significant role in preventing you and anyone from getting cancer, is severely compromised if you're constipated. Just after recently, I was dealing with someone, came with a lot of problems, issues on top of issues on top of issues. The issues long from here to San Fernando. I'm in Barataria right now. Real issues. And when I saw the issues, and and again, this is not to belittle or berate, I'm just trying to give an example here. They brought a whole set of reports to me. If you see reports. Now, I tell people bring their reports to me, but, I've went to school a long time. I'm still in school, quite frankly. Never out of school when you're in the profession that I am in. And I have no problem with that. I like to learn. I believe you could always better your best. So, but the whole long and short of the story is this. They brought basically an encyclopedia of medical reports to me. And when I looked at it very quickly, I didn't take 10 minutes to go through it, quite frankly. But it was big, large. From about a few different specialists, and I was looking at this like, Lord, Father God. So I told the individual, I said, listen to me, don't think me rude, don't think me abrasive in any manner, but you see this here, these people waste your money, essentially, And most people tend to leave people like myself for last. And we get accustomed. You save the best for last. I always tell them that. Right? But you come with your heap of problems, you spend all your money already, and you come to Dr. Batson to help you. And Dr. Batson is not a beast. He will help you. Within reason, of course. Because at the end of the day, you have to pay for the product. Because I just pay for that. My service, I could always waiver, depending on what it is. I believe in charity. I believe you must give. You don't only get. Right? So in any case, when I looked at it, I said, no, I said, only going about this wrong, So they looked at me surprised. Well, how do you mean we're going about it wrong? We went by all these specialists. I said, but that's the point. All these specialists say went by, look how long you go by people, and after now the problem can't fix it. I said, so let me break it down simple for you. Water, individual doesn't drink any. Bowel movement, infrequent, once a week, once every 10 days. That is madness. That is insanity. And you still wondering why you're sick? And you went by all these people, and none of these good people with all the degree and all the certification couldn't tell you that your body poisoning itself. I didn't even have to do a test on you. Give me the circumstances. Give me the history. Problem solved. So I said, listen to me. You know what's going on here? Bam, this is what you're doing. Dehydration of the highest order. Highest order. I continue to press the point with people as regards to how much water you must drink. If it is you are fed up of me saying that, then your radio has an off button. You could kindly press it and wait until I come off the radio. I have no problem with that. But I'm very rude when I'm ready. I'm telling you, and not for the nonsense. Because that will never change. It will never change. Whether your son, your teenage daughter, your grandchild don't like water and they have bad asthma, that does not change the fact the asthma will continue to get bad. So you need to do one of two things. Impress on that young man or young woman that they need to take care of themselves and the importance of water, or you will continue to have a sick child. Common sense, right?
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
how
common.
people just want to come to me and negotiate. You need to go and negotiate with God. Go and you kneel down and pray and tell God, listen to me. Why it is you make me have to drink all this water and my body require water? That is between you and the Creator. I am simply allowing you or informing you of what the rules are. And one of the rules of proper anatomy and physiology and proper health is proper hydration. Get it in your thick skull. I was not a language, I always say that. The other word for water is what? Agua? That's all I know. You need to drink water. You're a teenager. These young ladies now they do not drink water. Why do you think all these young women have problems with the menstrual cycle? And as I told someone yesterday, I said, this generation, they make up good enough. Now, again, some people might take offense for that, but that's your business. I am telling you like it is. Some of these children, all they did not make up properly. You know why? Because all they wasn't taking care of themselves when they make them children. Let's talk facts now.
Yeah.
All of us big people, we know what is involved in making children. You need a sperm, you need an egg. The healthier the sperm, the healthier the egg, the healthier the conditions under which that sperm and egg stays for a certain period of time, the better that woman takes care of herself, the more exercise she does, the more water she drinks, the proper the diet. What type of child you expect to get? A healthy child, right? Mm-hmm. Right, so we don't mix it up. All of us is big people and we understand. So some of y'all didn't do that. So the child was already born at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Why telling you here? They wouldn't tell you in the hospital, but I telling you. Common sense make before book. And then you take that child now and you bring up the child and you feed the child rubbish. Snacks is not food. I'm fed up tell all of that. If you need to go and read that somewhere else, you need to process it. That's your business. Process it, but it's a fact. Snacks is not food. Children should not be given sodas to drink. All who like this soft drink, I don't know what they put in soft drink. I can't stop drinking it. That nasty amount of sugar it have inside of there. Sugar is poison. If you don't know that, no. If you don't know that, if you didn't know it, you know it now. It's poison, and that doesn't change the fact. Yeah. So all of y'all who like to negotiate, and that's what people just do, don't come to try and negotiate with me when I tell you not to eat something. No, wrong person, wrong doctor. Don't even come in the beginning. Fact is fact. I always tell persons, look at gravity. Gravity is a law, Don't think because we fly in planes and there are rocket ships, you know how much for fuel? Try and fuel a plane. The people who have private jets are very wealthy people, there's a reason for that. Jet fuel not cheap. There's an expense to that. And it technically defies the law of gravity for a while. All those things have to be functioning properly under normal circumstances. You cannot defy the law of gravity as it relates to the earth. If you're going different in space and that type of thing where you do have that is a completely different thing. And the law of gravity states that what? They say all bodies falling towards the earth fall at a constant acceleration known as acceleration due to gravity, which is 9 point something. We learned that in school, basic physics. So if you jump off a building, regardless of how high that building is over a period of time, there's a specific way in which you're going to hit the ground. So regardless of whether you get up in the morning and feel that you get a dream and you can fly away, that is your business with your dream. You cannot, you understand what I'm saying, boss man? And that's what people need to understand. There are rules where your body is concerned that you need to follow. And if you flout the rules, if you break the rules, there is no negotiate. You're going to negotiate with God, you're mad? I mean, you could do that. We know that. We're talking about prayer and that type of thing. That's a different, but you cannot, you willingly go and look for your problems. I mean, that's between you and God. God is God, Because if God used to think like some of us, plenty of us wouldn't have been here.
True.
So that's a whole different conversation. God is God, right? So when you kneel down and say your prayers and you ask for what you want, that's between you and God. But what Dr. Batson is telling you this morning is that you cannot blatantly go and break the rules that was set out by the creator, the inventor. The people make a chair. How you sit down on a chair? On your neck? It have one way to sit down on a chair. You just sit down on a chair with your head and your foot in the air? No. It have one way. You put your bottom on the seat. There is one way to sit down on a chair, and that is because the chair was designed to sit on. If you're a child, when you're small and you're thinking and you're playing the fool and you're lying, now what you just do not get too lash. Your parents tell you, hey, sit down. So at the end of the day, something is designed for a specific design. Yeah. So you are designed to drink water. And if you continue breaking that rule, you're going to pay the consequence. What is the consequence? Diabetes in your waist, high blood pressure, joint pain, your back hurting you can't see, your hair falling off, all you who getting bald. And they tell you, give a fancy name and tell you about alopecia. Alopecia, my foot, that have nothing, that have no alopecia, no sharp. The problem, the reason why all your hair falling off your head and you're getting bald is because you're not eating properly. You're not drinking water. You're not taking care of yourself. I mean, if you're stressed out and you have some husband or wife stressing you out, well, then that is between you, your husband, your wife, and the Lord. However, you are breaking specific rules. When you look at your fingernail and you see those ridges, those type of brown line, that kind of thing looking nasty, like people feel like you're not cleaning your nails. That is because you lack what? You have calcium and magnesium deficiency. Let me tell you, it don't have no maths in getting better, you know. The reason why we have the kind of testimonies we have, I just tell people, bring them for me, you know. When they see the stars talk foolishness about, oh, he's a herbalist, don't call me no herbalist, you're out of place. You're real rude and out of place if you call me a herbalist. I mean, the thing is, I just do explain to people. My specialization is botanical medicine. That's herbalist multiplied by 1 billion day. So don't try to insult me. Because you know some of them just come with that foolishness. So I tell all a long time, the maths, listen, it have no maths and physics in getting better. What some of them need to do, as I was saying the other day, some programs ago, you need to be consistent in the math. You have to be consistent in the thing. Everybody went to school who listening to this program. Whether you have limited education, you only have primary, whatever education, you went to school. In order for you to do well or understand certain things, you had to, there is some consistency and discipline. You could be the brightest student, you could be naturally, intellectually gifted. If you do not apply yourself, what you'll get? Nada. Not so? So it comes with consistency and discipline. And that is what you have to understand. The next thing people will tell you, oh, to take care of yourself, now it's expensive. All right, good. Well, that's a whole, you know how much debate you have to go and debate. You want to what? You want to go in Parliament and tell them that they need to lower the price of provision? Go. Because you can't compare provision to rice. You have a yard, plant. The thing is, at the end of the day, and that's why I always tell persons, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. It does not. In the long run, you're going to pay a bad price. I do years now. And I tell people, I've been doing this 13 years with about 50 years experience. Because I don't deal with no little bit of people, all you know that. I have clients all over the world. I have dealt with numerous different health situations, from mental disease, and I do not fool people. If I can help you, I can help you. If I cannot help you, I tell you, out the door, I cannot help you. You waited too late to come to me. And there are people who can do that. Because when you reach a stage when you're dependent on certain types of medication, you are very difficult to fix. I am telling you, plain talk, bad manners. I've dealt with arthritis people who came to us. They came in wheelchairs, and in a month time, those people were able to walk. I've had persons who came to us with arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, and we took months to fix them. You know why? Because they were the persons who were taking all the prednisolone. They were on things like prednisolone and methotrexate for years. You don't expect to take corticosteroids. I don't care who your doctor is. I don't care what your diagnosis is. If you read what steroids do to the human body, that does not change the fact. You see, I don't know, for some reason, people just think when they put things, you know, they talk about black and white and gray. That doesn't change the fact. There's something known as steroid-induced diabetes. Dr. Batson didn't say that. Dr. Batson didn't make up the name. If you go on Google now and read, you will see all the information. If you take that medication long enough, it will blind you. I did not say that. That is also on the pack. If you go, they are checked. Because under the laws, whenever you are purchasing any type of medication, there are clinical trials that they have to do, and there would have been specific outcomes that would have happened over that period of time. So if the clinical trial, and they normally do double-blind or triple-blind placebo studies, and those are in-depth studies. So the expectation or the possibility of death, that is why they normally tell you that. In any advertisement for medication, they tell you, may cause death. That's a fact. But it doesn't change the fact that what you need to do is pay attention to yourself. So one of the first things you need to do, how much water are you drinking? I just make it basic for people. Basic. You have to watch the water intake. What is your complaint? Is it a musculoskeletal problem? So musculoskeletal is what? That is the organ system, because cells give you tissues give you organs give you organ systems, and organ systems give you the body, right? So to break it down, so a bone cell gives you bones or bone tissue. Bone tissue give you bones, and then you have things like ligaments, tendons, that type of thing. Bones give you a system, which is the musculoskeletal system. And musculoskeletal system with the other 10 organ systems in the body comprise the body. So where is your problem located? Is it a musculoskeletal problem? So is it rheumatoid arthritis? Is it osteoarthritis? Is it osteoporosis? Is it psoriatic arthritis? Is it spondylosis? Is it herniated disc? All those are diseases of what? The musculoskeletal system, because it affects what? Bones, tendons, ligaments, right? Or is it a problem with the cardiovascular system? So do you suffer from angina? Do you have swollen heart? Do you have this situation, COPD, which is a pulmonary disease? That you don't want. That's when water got in your lungs. Because your lungs and your heart just work very close together. You know? Remember, that is oxygen, carbon dioxide situation. We inhale oxygen, we breathe out carbon dioxide. The relationship between circulation and proper cardiovascular function, one of the major organ systems that deals with that is your lungs. So people with COPD have a compromised lungs, the whole lung and cardiovascular. So the respiratory and cardiovascular system, they're not functioning properly. Or is it that you have an imbalance of the respiratory system? So do you have asthma? Do you have tuberculosis? Do you have emphysema? Do you have issues associated with the gastrointestinal system? So do you have acid reflux, or what is referred to as GERD, which is gastrointestinal reflux disease? Do you have constipation? Or is it of the urinary system? So men, prostate. So you have problems with your prostate. You may have BPH, which is benign prostatic hypoplasia. So that interferes with two systems there. That is urinary system, but also even male function, sexual reproductive.
Yeah.
Or is it? Sorry?
We have a question coming in.
Okay, good. No problem.
Someone is saying, I have type 2 diabetes, fasting glucose of 75, high cholesterol of 130, high blood pressure of 116 over 80/90.
Right.
Hypothyroidism, TSH of 0.30.
Right.
And I'm so anemic. HGB of 111.
Right.
HCG 0.34.
Right.
MCV of 73.
Right.
CH of 23.4.
Right.
0. And RDW of 14.3. Please help.
How much was the HBG? 110?
Yeah, 110.
Yeah, that person has problems with anemia. The thing with being anemic, and this is something that I have experienced a lot of the times with people. There are persons who are walking around there who would do a blood test. Well, in this case, there are some markers that giving some indication of being anemic, right? Mm-hmm. So the thing is, a lot of people are anemic and may not have been diagnosed as being anemic. But one of the easiest ways to know if you're anemic or not, look at your blood pressure. Your systolic is your top number, your diastolic is your lower number, right? Most people who have low blood count, their systolic pressure is usually very low. Now, if you're a person who very active physically, you run, you walk, whatever the case may be, you tend to eat well, you could experience a blood pressure maybe about 118, 122 over maybe 80, 75. That's good and thing. But when you see it start to go below 110 as a male, no, your blood count low. There is some aspect of the hematology aspect of your body is not completely balanced. Because the silly thing is, what people have to understand with blood, red blood cells are produced where? In your bone marrow. People who usually have blood issues, things like thalassemia, what they call this thing, boy, sickle cell. So people who are sicklers, because they have different degrees of sickle traits, and because they have sickle trait and whatever the case may be. But hematology issues, blood issues, those issues are always linked to a lack of green in their diet. I have never seen an exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Because greens are the foundation for your bones, but they are foundation for all aspects of the body, which is why I usually feel for persons who are usually placed on blood thinners for extended period of time, especially warfarin, because when you're placed on warfarin, you can't use greens, but greens are the foundation aspect of the body. So already you're in some serious problems.
Yeah.
And you know, that's why I try to help people to understand. The truth is the truth, regardless of how hard it is to take it. And a lot of people don't understand that. So they say, well, okay, well, if it was that bad, why would the doctors put you on it? Well, that's how they were trained. So at the end of the day, you put me on warfarin and tell me not to eat anything green. And next thing is because I have a whole bag of problems afterwards. Because that's Coumadin. So you have to understand that, especially in that particular situation, most of the time, your issue is not a hard issue to fix. The problem with a lot of people, one, they don't have the patience. Two, some of them don't read anything. They won't even go and take a little read. So you have one extreme. You have the people who go and read everything and then analysis paralysis. So God, Google say, I can't say, I'm going dead. Make my will, call your mother, call everybody. Them dramatic set of people. You have that set. And then you have the set who they ain't doing nothing. They have diabetes. Some people don't know what diabetes is. They're taking medication. When you ask them what type of medication you're taking, well, they're taking a blue one, a red one, a green one. They don't know what they're taking. They don't know what is the side effects. You have to understand that you are your doctor first. That's the next thing why a lot of you always end up in problems. You expect the doctor to do the work for you. Listen, I am not living in your house. I ain't your neighbor. You need to focus on you. You have to understand every single thing that you're doing. So in that whole question that lady asked there, I can help you with that situation. You definitely have low blood count that you need to fix. I do not believe that you're a diabetic, in all honesty. I don't know if in the statement she made, if she said high cholesterol, or most likely she said a cholesterol reading. I don't know. Was
she
it?
said high cholesterol.
No, but 130, of 130, right? Maybe she made a mistake and she wanted to say 230 because 130 is not high cholesterol. Your cholesterol a little too low there. I wouldn't want a cholesterol at 130 because you have to understand cholesterol plays. There's a next thing. There's a next whole different. There's about 10 program there. That whole discussion on cholesterol and what is the real cholesterol reading, and because you have to understand all cells in the human body have what? Cholesterol. Cholesterol is produced by who or where? Your liver.
Yeah.
Right. So the liver plays a significant role in fat metabolism in the body. So there are people who they have some stubborn cholesterol, and it's not necessarily stubborn, but once your liver is functioning properly, your cholesterol will fall into line. And I always tell persons that if you have a challenge where you always have a high cholesterol, you know, some people, the cholesterol always high, then you have some problems. Because again, what do they normally recommend for high cholesterol? Statins, right? Now, there's a lot of debate in the world today as regards to statins. There are a lot of doctors who like them. There are a lot of doctors who don't like them. I'm one who not really a big fan of them, quite frankly, especially for extended use. A short-term thing we would never issue it, but there are a number of issues with your CoQ10 and there's ubiquinol. If you understand the whole chemistry of CoQ10 and nitric oxide in the body, you understand how you cannot decrease those because it seriously opens you to cardiovascular problems. Which is why most people, after being hypertensive for a number of years, the next problem you're going to get is kidney renal failure and cardiovascular issues.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's because you wasn't paying attention, you wasn't minding your business and dealing with the root aspect of the problem. There isn't anyone that I have ever met who had hypertension. Now, I'm not saying that there are vegetarians who cannot be hypertensive. I'm not saying that. But the majority of individuals who have issue with hypertension, check their diet. They love meat. They love it. And all you must be honest with yourself. You know?
Yeah.
So that lady who called there, I mean, who messaged, we could help you. I don't believe you're a diabetic. I believe that is... I don't know if you ever did that HbA1c because she talked about glucose fasting and she said 75. That's too low. So if you're taking medication and your sugar going so low, no, something is wrong there.
Something is wrong.
And especially with that cholesterol at 130, nah, that cholesterol too low. So that's why you're going to, she's going to have problems with
pressure.
Beg
The blood pressure 116 over 80.
Right.
Over 80 over 90 is not too bad.
No, that's not, the pulse is what, 90?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's not too bad. That's still a little too high though. Which means there's some kind of anxiety situation there. That person don't sleep well. Right? So what we need to do is fix the rest, fix the hydration, determine whether you're diabetic or not. I am telling you off the top of my head, I'm 95% sure that you are no diabetes. I guarantee you that. No diabetes. That's the next thing. A lot of persons are diagnosed as diabetic and they're not diabetic. Listen to me. Do not go and let anybody do any fasting blood sugar on you and tell you you're diabetic for me. Please get a proper HbA1c test done. That's one of the things that we actually used to do in the diabetic center that we have. But God's willing, next year we're making some changes with that. So we're going to start back that whole diabetic center that we had before. We still have it operating, but on a larger scale, to deal with persons who are, because a lot of persons I have come across, few people who were taking medication for diabetes and people sugar going low, and poor them may have better sense. You go in the clinic telling you to take the medication. What you need to do is go in the clinic with your book. Ask the doctor in a nice way, sir, ma'am, excuse me, these are my readings. Your date, put it proper. Don't carry nothing on page for the people. Make the thing professional. Please, don't carry no pen and paper and page. Get a proper book. Rule it up properly. Date, time, reading. Doctor, common sense. A doctor must be able to say, well, ma'am, I'm looking at your readings here over a month and I see your blood sugar. So maybe we need to adjust the medication. And that's the next thing. You know, because a lot of times the doctor would go on the notes of the previous doctors, which is a bad thing. You can't follow notes. You can't bring notes from me a year ago and expect me to evaluate that patient the same way as my way. They didn't go to school or something where you need to. No, man. You buy a degree. That's madness. But it is do that foolishness, you know. A lot of the times you go and they go in based on notes, months old notes, years old notes. No, what kind of madness is that? When was the last blood test? How do we make a proper assessment to determine whether this individual needs to be, the medication regime needs to be changed? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, all you know it is all you all have to do. So the telephone numbers for Batson Associates, let me give you that. Keep in mind, again, we are live on social media. We are Batson Associates Limited. On Facebook, on Instagram, we are Batson Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson Associates Trinidad. So feel free to join. Those of you, based on your experiences, you know, a lot of clients, you know, if you had an experience, even if it's a bad experience, I am a man who is willing to take constructive criticism. So, you know, if that is an issue, you let me know, because as I said, we could always better our best. The good ones, of course, I will welcome, where you have used a product. We have a lot of those. The Nerve Restore, Ioptics Formula, Optimizer, Santulan, the Alkagen Water, Inflammation Formula, the Advanced Chlorophyll. You know, there are some new things we have coming next year. Just have to understand that, you know, the way everything going now in the world, you know, you have to balance certain things. So we balance this as best as we can. But God's willing, you know, we get in there. And most importantly, you know, persons getting help, that type of thing. We had a little situation with our teas, which we have now. We're in the process of rectifying it. So those teas should be ready for you in a little bit. You know, we just have to make sure and dot our I's and cross our T's with certain things. And, you know, ensure that we get you guys what we need to get you. Okay, so those telephone numbers quickly for the Shogunas branch. That office is located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Shogunas. That telephone number is 2228261. That's 2228261. Let me say a pleasant good morning to our international listeners, our international clients. I know a lot of you guys have actually got your products and are satisfied. So, you know, I'm looking forward to some of the feedback from you guys. Keep in mind, if you need to book an online consultation and you're overseas, so overseas will be outside of Trinidad and Tobago, right, people? Even if you need an online consultation in Trinidad, we will do that for you, because one of the factors we need to take into consideration is traffic. Right now, I'm working on a product for traffic. You know, if you can get them Santulan, if I could put Santu in our road, you will see all their traffic on because, yeah, that traffic is, oh, goodness gracious. So the thing is, we have limited time now, so I try my best. You can't do remote consultations. We are not doing surgery on you. I'm not examining you. I mean, if it is you come to the office, you do your blood, you do your scan, that is what the consultants are there for. That's what the senior consultants, I just senior. That is what them fellas and them there for. So once they do that, Dr. Batson going to look at your report. You could come do your test and listen to me. I call you back home on your phone proper in the comfort of your own house. Review everything with you. Just put the icing on the cake for you. And that is it in our business fix, you know. Do you know that they have robotics? You know they have robotic surgery right now, right? Like places like Italy, Sweden, certain parts of Scandinavia. No doctor ain't touching you. You have one doctor outside in a room there, and you inside of it, and it's robots in your skin. The world is a different place now. We're looking to do things for efficiency and effectiveness. And don't feel, some people figure, well, Dr. Batson, if I'm paying for a consultation in person, and I'm paying for a consultation over the phone, and I'm paying for a consultation that is live, the fan should be, no. You're paying for this. This is what you're paying for. The information. So regardless of how the information, I mean, a lot of persons like personal, one-on-one. But yet we have to be practical in the situation. You may eventually get a one-on-one. Nobody's saying no. But I have hundreds of persons that have gotten better, and they never met me. My international clients, a lot of them I have never met. People in England, Canada, US, whatever the case may be. So
we have a call.
Okay, go ahead. Let's take the call.
Good morning, caller.
Ooh, we lost it.
Lost that.
Okay.
Yeah. Someone is saying we have a couple messages coming in. Good morning. I have SLE lupus. Could you help?
Yes. Anyone with lupus? Yes. 10 years.
We got the call coming back in. Caller, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Dr. Batson, special good morning.
Thank you so very much. Good morning to you.
You remember about 3 weeks now, but anyhow, you told me not to take the first pass.
Yes, I remember this lady. Yeah, there's a lady who called with the pressure and I tell you to drink the water. Right. So talk to me.
Well, after that, about 2 days after, I felt sick. I was in bed for like 2 weeks, 3 days.
Right.
And that's going along. Anyhow, I did what you tell me, and I drink water. I drink enough water as enough.
Right.
And I check in my pressure, and the pressure seems to be going down.
Right. Nice.
Pressure going down.
Good. Very good.
This morning, I find it was a little 160, 196. But I think what happened to us, I was kind of upset about something.
Right.
But I'm drinking the water, but I need to use something to take at least, to get to go a little bit more.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah. But remember what I told you, based on how I remember the conversation. I could be wrong. You could guide me accordingly, right? I believe. Okay, so with the water, so you did water what? This is what, 3 weeks now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So what I suggest you do now, there's a product we carry called advanced chlorophyll. Right. I don't know. You used that product before?
Yeah. And you know what it did to me?
Tell me.
I lost a lot of weight.
You lost weight with it? Good weight or bad weight?
Yes.
Good weight or bad weight? She laughed. No, I asked you.
I mean, the weight just went.
Okay, but where did the weight go in? So did it go in good places? So is it, because I know the thing with women, when they talk about weight, you want your belly to go down. So that went down, or you find the other parts like legs and buttocks and things that was affected?
Everything went down.
Everything went down.
Everything went down.
Okay, and how you used it, how we recommended, which was what, 1 tablespoon morning and evening?
Well, before I heard you with it, somebody about it, and I went, I purchased it.
Right.
I went to the clinic.
Right.
And a patient was telling me about it, so I got it.
Right.
And I put it in a bottle. I don't think I probably used too much.
I feel so. I'm not going to tell you. You didn't use it. You didn't use it the way that it was supposed to be used. But, I mean, okay, by and large, we understand that. We can't turn back the hands at time. So what I suggest you do now, because you see, the thing is a process, especially with hypertension. And that is why I'm glad you called back this morning, so at least people who listening would understand. You see, a lot of the times, if you are hypertensive, there are certain things that you should not use off the bat. And remember, that's why I told you, I think you tell me you was making a mixture with aloes and something, right? Correct?
Very well, yes,
good,
you are correct.
Good, yeah. I have a good memory, I don't forget so. So the thing is, what that did, it isn't necessarily bad enough. But what people have to understand with hypertension, pressure is pressure, you know? So if you take something and you're not hydrated enough, it means the blood too thick. But the thing is, what you take, like for example, like aloes, if you use omegas, if you use different type of cleansers, like how you're talking about using the purge pack, what that's going to do, that's going to send the pressure, because remember, it automatically going to say, listen, we need to clean the blood. So it's going to dump everything in the bloodstream. But remember, the pressure already high. So when it add more toxins to the blood, what it's doing is thickening the blood. So it means you could actually put yourself in a situation to get a stroke. And that's what I was trying to help you to avoid, which is why I tell you to do what you do. So what you're doing now with the water is good. So now is when you should add the chlorophyll. And with the advanced chlorophyll, here what you're doing. You're taking 1 teaspoon in 8 ounces of water, first thing in the morning, last thing before you go to bed. Empty stomach. An empty stomach is either 30 minutes to an hour, 2.5 hours after a meal, depending on the meal. So if you eat salad and those things go through the digestive system very quickly, so you're looking at about an hour, hour and a half. But once you do that, what that does now is start to gradually again clean the system. And then after, you could always add, there's a product we carry called Optimizer. Optimizer is a free radical scavenger. So what that is going to do now is start to again sap up, pick up all the waste, all the toxins, get it out, but send it through the systems that we want it to go through, which is gastrointestinal. So defecation, urinating, sweat. That's what you want. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. I'm going to connect tomorrow. I have to do blood work.
Okay, good. So that's nice. So if you could just quickly, I know how this operates sometimes. If you could ask them to take a little picture or some kind of thing like that. But you have to go and do the blood work. You wouldn't get the results until long after that. Yeah.
Yeah, like about 2 weeks after.
About 2 weeks after. Okay, good.
On the 24th.
All right.
So I can always I'll ask my doctor, I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you.
Okay, good. Yeah, do that.
I'm following you on everything.
Okay, good. But I'm glad to know you get some results.
Yes.
Okay, great.
I'm getting into the water now, like, oh my God.
Excellent. And you see the difference? I show you're sleeping better, you're going off in the washroom better, you're more relaxed, your skin must be looking nice. Okay, remember, you have security if you don't have a husband, so careful. I hear you.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome, my darling. Take care of yourself. God bless. Bye-bye. Yeah, so you see, and that is what a lot of people with pressure, and keep that in mind. And I hope a lot of people with hypertension heard that you have to, is piece by piece. You don't play with high blood pressure. It has some people just go and juice beetroot. Your pressure is 2 something over 1 something, and you want to go and juice beetroot. Now you're going to kill yourself. What beetroot is a precursor to nitric oxide. Beetroot high in L-arginine. Is it L-arginine or L-citrulline? Some one of them. When you take nitric oxide, listen to me. Watermelon is the next thing, but you have to ensure that you drink water. Trinidad and Tobago. Please, if you don't do that, you're heading for a stroke. You're going to give yourself a stroke. Okay? So, again, those telephone numbers, you let me know when we have a call or anything like that. For the Davey office,
we have a few messages.
A few messages. Well, let me just call these telephone numbers and then we'll take the messages, right? For the Davey office, that office is located on the corner of Ramsey Mooch Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Davey. That telephone number is 223. That's 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number is 226-4553. I'll actually be working in Tobago tomorrow, please God. So those of you in Tobago, you could always call the number there and we'll organize necessarily. I know we have some appointments set already, but I can always take some more persons. So that number for Tobago is 226-4553. And of course, for the international clients, keep in mind that telephone number, which of course is going to be 868 Trinidad area code 373-2388. Again, that's 868-373-2388. Those of you who are social media savvy, you know, you all have with the phone and the WhatsApp and the everything, you can join us on Facebook. On Facebook, we are Batson & Associates Limited. On Instagram, we are Batson & Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson & Associates Trinidad. Let me just answer this question quickly, sir, and then I'll come over to you, right? So this question comes from someone on Instagram. It's I am Mizij. These Instagram names are real fancy, you know. Good morning. You started talking about digestion issues, GERD and eczema. Can you speak on this some more? I have eczema and also GERD. I'd like to know what foods to avoid. Okay, cool. All right, so I'll go into that in a little bit. Let me just quickly say, when you're dealing with eczema, so anyone who has any skin condition, it is a manifestation of the other aspects of elimination. Keep in mind, and that's how Santulan came about, right? So Santulan is a 7-channel detox. When I tell you I love that product, love it, love it, love it. So Santulan cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and the lungs. Now, here's the trick with that product. 1, is a liquid product. 2, it is not an aggressive product. So you might get a little cramp. Now, the thing is, the more rubbish you have in there, the more cramp you'll get. Eh? So I didn't put your rubbish in here. So you don't vex with the tea when you're drinking and your belly hurting you real bad. It means the rubbish just plentiful, right? They now start to go in there and move certain things. But the thing with that, what that is going to do is going to start to do work on the organ systems, because it's kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Your skin is the largest external organ. It is actually biologically referred to as your integumentary system, which comprises the skin and the appendages. So appendages would be like your fingernails, your toenails, your hair. And that is why I said what I said about people with hair and alopecia. And you know, there are some people who must have alopecia and they must feel a little hard, or men who have male pattern baldness. Let me tell you something. You can keep your hair could even regrow, you know, in some instances, but it comes down to what you eat. Rubbish in will give you, rubbish in is what? Rubbish out, right? Living food, living body, dead food, dead body. Okay? So again, when this person is asking this question about eczema, I suggest you get yourself some alkagen water. You could get, there's a product we have called inflammation formula, very good product, exceptionally good. That actually reduces inflammation. Natural is a kind of berry flavor thing, so it don't taste bad, no artificial sugar, that type of thing. Good product, good product. The feedback from that product is excellent. In terms of foods to avoid, no coffee, least amount of sugar in your diet. Pepper is our next thing. This is for the pepper lovers. You know, that's someone who can't eat food unless you douse it down with pepper. Douse, you know yourself. Too much of that isn't good for you. Pepper, especially the way we make pepper. I mean, if you take a little piece of pepper and you cut it and you leave it in your food there, you wouldn't kill you for that. But the pepper sauce and the pepper every time with no. You are creating a lot of heat. Remember, pepper is a spicy thing, you know. There are some foods that do what? Encourage heat, and some foods that encourage cool. Which is why there are some foods that are alkaline, and there are some foods that increase acid. A lot of people do not know that citric acid, even though it is acidic, in the body, it produces alkaline ash, which is why rough skin lemon is so popular now, and you put rough skin lemon in water and they talk about that, because it has an alkaline effect. So even though it is an acid, the effect on the body is the production of alkaline ash. So there's something in the body known as alkaline ash and acid ash. And ash as in ASH, ash. Good? So that's something. So the juices now with the sugar produces what? Acid ash. Coffee, acid ash. Which means it creates an environment that is now conducive to disease. Disease loves acid. Remember, all pathogens have, very quickly, all pathogens have polarity. Like everything in the universe has a polarity, positive or negative charge. Pathogens are positively charged.
Yes.
Good? So there is a reason for that. So in dealing with them, the charge, even the charge in what you're using is important, because they are negatively charged foods and that type of thing. Okay, so feel free to give us a call or visit. Let me go over to you now, sir, and let's take some of those questions.
All right, we have someone saying, they're asking, first of all, what's the product to help with better sleep? They said I have taken 4 colon cleanse tabs for 6 days. I was told that by someone to take 8 to 12 tabs for 10 days. I found it too much. I haven't done a cleanse in years. Is this a good cleanse? Trying to lose a high stomach and also cut down a lot of flour, rice, and sugar. With the 4 tabs, I have about 3 bowel movements for the day. So imagine if it were 8 to 12 tabs.
Okay. The thing is, how I could answer this question, boy. The thing is, I could only speak about what I know, and I am the type of person, I am very cautious in what I say when I say it, how I say it. So I can't really endorse that particular type of product because in all honesty, I do not. The reason why I got Santulan, why we have Santulan, is because I didn't like cleansers that are tablets. And you all know what I'm speaking about. So there's a whole set of things. Now, that doesn't mean that the product isn't good. I'm not saying that. But it's like asking me how my neighbor food tastes. I don't know. I never eat from them. I can't give it, you know? I can't. It's like asking me how my partner why food tastes. I never eat food from her. You know? Or asking my partner, hey, I don't know if he must be a cook. They say, you fella just make a fried rice or a mash. You understand what I'm saying? I could speak from experience. My thing is, and that's why I tell persons, in terms of cleansing, and that's one of the things we're going to do next year, please God, which is a whole detox house. That's our next project that I'm working on with dealing with a lot of different detoxes because I'm a huge advocate of detox. People who tell you that you're not supposed to take a detox, I am telling you, all they need to do, anybody tell you that, tell them, I say shut up. I'm telling you, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Because you don't understand Harvard University. Everybody know what Harvard University is, right? One of the most prestigious universities in the world. They did a study, one of the doctors did a study on toxicity and toxins in the body. And let me tell you something. That man, when he was finished and he presented that data, I believe it was somewhere in New England Journal of Medicine, that was like 3-4 years ago. The results that he showed on individuals and the buildup of toxicity, he also spoke about leaky gut syndrome, which I have spoken on numerous occasions to people. And he actually showed how important cleansing and detoxifying is. All you need to do is ensure the cleanse that you get is a good one. I could talk about Santulan, and I could put my head on a block for that product. I could also put my head on a block for the way that I usually design cleanses. I don't cleanse everybody the same way. We don't do that. That's what I tell you, is well-trained people you're dealing with. I know what it is I'm doing. And so do the people who work with me. We know what it is we're doing. I've had people who did cleanses in other places, and they came for us to fix the mess because they ended up in problems. Cleansing and detoxifying is a serious thing. It is a beneficial thing. It is an important thing, but you have to know what you're doing. And old school, which worked for some instances, is not all the time. You see, salts is something that you should not take. A lot of people don't know that. Long time our parents, they didn't know better. We know better now. Salts is a dangerous thing. There is something in the lining of your intestines known as, what's the lining of our intestines called again, boy? The endothelial lining. Listen to me. When you take certain laxatives, if those laxatives are too strong, if you are someone who is dehydrated, just like you saw the example of the lady, you hear what she said? She said the pressure going down. A lot of people didn't know what it is I told that individual. They would tell her, yes, go ahead. No. Had she taken that purge pack, she'd have been in real trouble. Hospital would have picked, ambulance would have picked her up. I tell you, that blood pressure was going out of the roof. That would have got to about a 2-something, 3-something over 1-something. She could have ended up, God forbid, dead. You have to understand in everything, there's a way to do things. There's a way to do things. And one of the advantages of Batson Associates is that we make sure and do things in a particular way. I'm not criticizing anybody else, but I know what I have. I know what I have inside of my house. Don't ask me what my neighbor have. I don't live there. So all I'm saying to you, you get your alkagen water, you do that first for a period of time. Then from there, you move on to things like your advanced chlorophyll. You look at, there's a reason that there are stages. How do you think we end up with Optimizer? I needed a free radical product. So with the sleep situation, you have to understand, we have to remove the toxins. Nerve Restore is the name of the product. What I suggest, call, get your information. But that product is finished fast, real quick. And that's not because of me being delinquent or anything. The product is just go. And then, of course, we have little war in Ukraine and all this kind of thing. So just put on your name. We'll get in about the next 2 weeks. And, we'll get you on a particular journey that you need to get on. Nothing is wrong with asking questions. Our front desk staff is well trained, as well as our consultants. It's very easy to get any of the consultants. Ms. Ramdan, Mr. Green, Mr. Bastamante, Mr. Vialva. I have a few individuals there as well too. They're just finishing up, so they'll be joining us soon as well. So you have information. Utilize the information. Let us know. We have telephones. We could do our over the phone consultation. We're doing the consultation how we could do it based on your time. You might be living south. You think we want you to come down the road and spend 3 hours in traffic? No, we ain't going through that. Okay. So over to you, sir.
All right. We have another one. We have quite a few waiting. Someone is saying, good morning. My mother is 69 years and was recently diagnosed with slight cataract in both eyes. What can she use?
Cataract. Okay. There's a product we carry called Eye Optics Formula. So minor cataract, Eye Optics Formula will cover that. Medium cataract, it will do the same. There's a tea we also have called IT. What that does is basically deals with, once you're dealing with cataract and those type of things, you're dealing with problems with protein. You should be careful in terms of the foods, in terms of that fancy device that is taken hot your food in. I don't want to call the name, I know what you're talking about. Be careful. Be careful with that. Be very, very careful with that. Because they actually linked that particular device and hotting food in that device to denature in protein in such a way that it contributes to cataracts. Right? That was something. Coffee. The coffee people. I know there's the riot, that some of them face skin up right now. That and cataracts do not get along. Sugars, reduce your sugars. Again, increase your water intake. Bright orange colored vegetables, things like your carrots, pumpkin, those type of things. If I give you a problem with your eye, this is what I suggest to the person. The products that we carry, apart from IT, Eye Optics Formula, Optimizer, we actually have our advanced bilberry extract. That's a product we recently started to get like over about the last month and a half. Good product, excellent. Major advantages, eyes proper, and there's no additives, nothing in that. Pure business, right? That is going to help you. Also, exercise. Can't forget exercise. Movement, because a lot of people, you have like blockages in different parts of the body. The nerves not going all the way up. The blood is not going all the way up, which is why a lot of people get neuropathy. Neuropathy is nerve damage as a result of poor circulation. Most neuropathy patients are poor circulation patients. You don't end up with neuropathy unless poor circulation came first. That's like I raised the battle. The first leg was circulation. The second leg is neuropathy. It does not go the reverse. Neuropathy cannot come before poor circulation. Poor circulation is going to cause neuropathy. Perfect example, diabetics. Diabetic neuropathy is as a result of, first of all, diabetic poor circulation.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question.
We have one. Good morning, Dr. Batson. Do you have any treatment for alopecia areata, or areata?
One of the things, I don't know if you're Miss Belinda Murray, Miss Murray Caroline here, Miss Murray, so we don't answer the phone. So I don't know how you. Well, Miss Murray, once you see the call, you will take it. I mean, sometimes what you all doing, what he picks up in the studio is different. So I don't know. Right,
I'm not sure that person is calling a phone that we cannot answer.
Probably. Which number should we tell her to call?
If they're calling the WhatsApp line direct, we can't take
they can't take the call. So Miss Murray, I feel you're calling the WhatsApp. So call the other number, and I'm gonna let him just give us that in a little bit again. Sorry, where were we? What we were saying?
The alopecia.
Right, or the alopecia. The thing with alopecia, you can get help. People with hair loss need to be not necessarily patient alone. It will work, but you have work to do. You have work to do, because the thing is, follicles, hair follicles could be rejuvenated, even from a natural perspective, but it depends on the length of time the damage has been done. If you understand what I'm saying. And then some persons may have used very aggressive products like some persons may have attempted to do steroid injections in the scalp itself. If you did that, you're going to have to pay some consequences for that. That's something that you should not have done. So it depends. I'm going to have more on your case to be able to know. But I believe that you could get some help where that is concerned. It has a lot to do with hormonal imbalance, which is why I find a lot of women get alopecia. So it's a lot of hormones. It has an autoimmune aspect associated with it. But all diseases primarily are autoimmune diseases in any case, which is a key indication of very poor gut health. You could also check out from Batson Associates, Digestive Balance and Digestive Restore. Those are two products that we use to help with digestion. The gastrointestinal tea as well is also very good for dealing with that situation. So, it's a matter of, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. All right? Okay.
I have another question. Someone said, asking if you could repeat what you said last week about restoring enamel. They wanted to know.
Well, that's what we spoke about oil pulling. I was telling the person, because I was saying, if you're using apple cider vinegar, one of the things that you're supposed to do, you use apple cider vinegar with a straw, right? It's a very good thing. It is not for everyone if you have an acid reflux situation. Now, everybody's stage of acid reflux is going to be different. So depending on the stage of acid reflux that you have reached, or if you have GERD, which is gastrointestinal reflux disease, which is supposed to be the same, but technically it's not the same, with the discomfort. I mean, anybody who has had any acid stomach, you know how that is feel. That's wake you up in the night. That could kill you. What it may mean is that it depends on, as I said, how far along you are, then you would be able to use the apple cider vinegar. Not everybody with acid reflux could use apple cider vinegar. So what you may need to do is try it for yourself. What I normally recommend is that you mix it with the inflammation formula and the advanced chlorophyll, because with that it is easier and it actually gets more, especially if I deal with someone who has a problem with the prostate or you have frequent urinary tract infections, that type of thing. That is normally how we would do it. The inflammation formula helps a lot with that product, and they kind of work hand in hand. So in a case like that, that is something that you should look at doing.
All right.
Yes.
The person is saying, good morning, Linda. Good morning, Dr. Batson. My question is, my 78-year-old family member has dementia and high blood pressure, no diabetes, taking cerebral and nerve restore. Do you carry any other products that can help him? His short-term memory is decreasing and he forgets simple things.
Okay, so let me see if I get that. What was the age? I didn't get the age though. I didn't pick up that part of it. 78. And they say what? Vascular dementia and what? Alzheimer's?
They said dementia and high blood pressure.
Okay, so they want to know, apart from the cerebral and the nerve restore, what else we recommend? Those products will help. What you need, the thing is, people who have problems with dementia and any issue which is a serious reflection or a ramification of poor blood circulation to the brain, you're looking at omegas. Now, I'm very particular. There's an omega that we usually carry called, it's an omega with astaxanthin. You could always ask them to get one of those for you, as well as something called Optimizer. Now, what Optimizer does, Optimizer increases blood flow to the brain, but it has adaptogenic aspects associated with it. So what that product does is improve blood circulation, but you need something. So the cerebral deals with cognitive function, memory, your ability to, because remember, people with dementia, one of the main issues with dementia, apart from short-term and long-term memory, is also time and place. They usually have this association where they don't know where they are. So they will think, okay, we're in 2022, but they thinking they in 19 something. They remember when they went to school and that kind of thing. And their conversation is never cohesive or coherent. They would go talking about one thing from, so that's one of the things that you need to work on. So definitely the omega or the astaxanthin will help. What you may also use, there's a product that we carry called enzyme formula. We use that a lot with persons who have problems that's to break up fibrin. So if you're dealing with things like fibroids, blocked arteries, you're dealing with blockages in the cerebral hemisphere, then you need to actually dissolve and break up all those those clots and that plaque and that type of thing. A lot of people don't. There are a number of things that you can use to break up plaque and dissolve plaque and digest it and get it out of the system. But again, a lot of people don't know about that particular protocol and how you do it. But those are things that you could look at. One of the things too, as well, you could always get them the circulation tea, which goes well. And as I said, we would have tea. We just had a little challenge with that, but we should have tea in the next week. And you always see why when you all get the tea. Because, as I said, we were just dotting our I's and crossing our T's with some things that we needed as regards to the local authorities. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And at the end of the day, we were putting certain things in place to correct that. So those are the recommendations. So your omega with astaxanthin, your enzyme formula, and that circulation. I think you add that to it. You can also get there's a product. I wonder if they have that on the market still, though. I can always find out for you. I know why I don't want to call it on the radio, because then everybody will go looking for it, and the things I don't even think they have in the country. So I ain't going to put anybody through all that stress. All right. Your CMOS, I'm a huge advocate of CMOS. I don't know how to tell all of this again. You drink CMOS, it would not kill you. It is going to help 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 you. I went so far as to actually get CMOS for you. So we have CMOS in the office now. All the offices have CMOS. And proper thing, one of the ladies who work with me, let me say a pleasant good morning to Miss Eleanor. Everybody in St. James know Miss Eleanor. You all know Eleanor old school and she don't make joke. When I got the CMOS, Miss Eleanor called me. She said, Dr. Batson, where you get a CMOS from? I said, Miss Eleanor, I get anything from a proper source. She said, I'm looking at it, I'm looking at it. I wonder how well does it yield? I said, well, I don't know. I said, well, take a pack and carry it home and do it for me and tell me. When Miss Eleanor bring the thing, watch me, proper thing, She said, Dr. Batson, this is great CMOS. This is excellent CMOS. And the era, I'm using my words carefully because I don't want to get licks when I go to work next week. Era that Miss Eleanor is from, if Miss Eleanor tell all of the CMOS good, the CMOS good. Yeah. She made it. I have the CMOS still in the fridge. Gel properly, nice formation, clean business. Get your CMOS. Please do not put any milk in the people thing. Please, no milk, no sugar. Anything you put milk and sugar in, you spoil it. Fellas, you're making a little CMOS in your shake. No milk, no sugar. Especially if it is you're talking about strengthening up for the perspective of proper male function and thing. Milk is not for men. I always tell people that. If you want to suffer from erectile dysfunction, drink plenty of milk and you'll see how very successful you are. Plainly put. Right?
I had another question because my mom too would have suffered with dementia. And one of the things I realized, and this is in the form of a question, what measure of physical activity? Because I know a lot of persons, they prefer to just take something.
Right.
But you always say that there's always work to be done.
Yes.
There's a measure of physical activity
of course. That should go hand in hand. And let me stick a pin in here quickly. I have and will always be an advocate of physical activity. To the people who say that they don't have time, I agree, but I disagree. You ought to make time. And the thing is, you don't, and it's simple. Get a skipping rope. You had to go in a gym, you could skip in the back of your house. You must have some concrete somewhere to go. You get a skipping rope. You get some weights. You might get a 10 pound, a 15 pound. If you're a female, anywhere between, especially if you're more mature, so let's say, now I mean everybody have different physical levels in terms of endurance, strength, and that type of thing, right? But I'm going general. So you might be a 60-year-old female, you're retired, or 65 years. You get make sure you have a nice pair of shoes, proper cushioning. You have a mat, an exercise mat, and you get some weights. You could have like an 8 pound, you could have 10, you could have a 15. If, finances allow. If not, and you're looking at a 10 pound. And with that, there are so many things that you can do. There are so many things. You could do your squats at home. You could do some lunges. Go after God is Google. After Google is YouTube. The internet is not only to mind people's business, the business minders out there. The internet is for information. Don't you go on Facebook and be talking about minding people's business. Go on YouTube, you will see it have plenty things. You could type in exercise for seniors.
Yeah.
And it have things you can do. Sorry, go ahead, sir.
As a thing too, I've realized some persons, because they get older, they think, okay, well, it's hard. I can't really go out and do any exercise.
No. Excuses. I before my mother there, she tell me something about, I say, Miss Lady, I'm not going through that with you, because I don't want you to get sick. You know your child. I will make sure and do it as I need to do, and then if you don't listen, wherever you pay a consequence. I don't play. You need to make some time. I just had to get up sometime and take a quick rundown in the gym. You might be able to get an hour and a half, I might get 45 minutes, but you have to do something. Because, and that is what I'm saying in the beginning, sir, that a lot is Lyndon, right? Good. And then call it Dominic there. The thing is, what you have to understand is that you have to make the sacrifice. Nobody going to make it for you. And you saying that you don't have time to do it, not making the situation better.
And I know some persons with joint
discomfort and pain and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Not able to go and do the running or the skipping, but something that people bypass easily.
Right.
Is aqua aerobics.
Aqua aerobics, yeah. And not only and that's a valid point too. And I'm glad for that. Because they have to understand the biggest mistake people with arthritis could make is not moving. I am telling you that. You'll kill yourself. The biggest mistake, remember, again, physics, a body in motion remains in motion, a body at rest remains at rest. And when you rest, the more you rest is in plenty. Some Hollywood is die when they start to die, Look at how much people, all the time you're working, you're good. From the time you retire, that's it. You get big and fat, then you're dead. What you do? Nobody is saying that they enjoy your retirement, go and travel, go and do, but keep active. You need to do something. Some of the biggest exercise some people do is from the couch to the kitchen, from the kitchen to the toilet, and then from the toilet to the bedroom. Come on, man. What kind of thing is that, man? We're doing me. And then when you get a certain age, you don't understand. You cannot be getting older and putting on more weight. Who going to be moving you? You want to mash up who back? My back, you have to be mad. You should have been living by me. Already I know where Bali this grow. Me ain't going through that. I was getting a hamster wheel, make a big hamster wheel and put all inside of it to run and only get all the drinking chlorophyll whole day. All hear what the lady said? She said, Dr. Batson, drink the chlorophyll. I gain all of that dose. Lose weight, come down. You can't be getting older and you people are to be moving you on a bed. Why you think people just get bed sore? The more obese you are, the quicker you're going to get bed sores. You have to do something and come out from the mentality where you're saying you want to lose weight without exercising. Are you mad? That's like saying you have a car. You buy a car. Buy the best vehicle they have, whatever it is. You go, you choose your thing. I don't know what you like. I don't know what you can afford. You buy it and take it and pack it up in a garage and leave it there for a year and see what happens. Go and start it now. You go. Inactivity is the same thing with your brain, the same thing with your hands. Get up, take a little fresh air. You reach a certain age, go and get a fowl, go and get a chicken, go and get something to wake you up early in the morning and do something. Get a fowl and go to something. Some exercise. Go ahead.
We do Linda line. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Father Linda.
Good morning to you.
Yes, Dr. Batson, good morning.
Good morning, my dear. How are you?
Good, great.
Okay.
Yes, I'm calling to find out something. Recently, I had my A1C done.
Good.
Okay. It was 6.8. I went to the doctor and the doctor told me that I was diabetic. Is that Could that be real?
Could that be real? Okay, good. All right. So you will listen. You could listen. So tell me something quickly before you go. So you just did an A1C. You did any other bloods?
Yeah, I did cholesterol. The cholesterol was good.
Right.
The 0.8.
The what was 0.8? The creatinine?
Yeah, the creatinine.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
He said that was good.
Yeah, that was good.
The cholesterol was good. It was just borderline.
Okay.
I think it was 0.7, 205 or something like that.
Okay. You mind if I ask how young you are?
I am.
You could give me a area, average.
She said 63.
63 years.
63 years. Okay, good. Well, you can listen off here. I'll explain it to you. But I said nothing to worry about. So,
the blood this morning,
Right.
the blood pressure is 151
Right.
over 63, and the pulse is 71.
151 over 63 and the pulse is 71?
Yes.
Okay, your diastolic is excellent though. That is the lower number, but you, okay, do you run? Do you exercise or something? You was an athlete or something?
What's that?
I say, were you an athlete? You used to run or something? Or swim or something like that?
Not really, but I will exercise off and on, you know.
And you're not on hypertensive medication?
It put me recently on
Nifedipine.
Yeah,
So okay, so sorry, go ahead.
What I'm concerned about, that tablet, those tablets, but when I'm taking the tablet, I recently it started headache, like a headache. I just find I'm getting like a headache.
Like a headache. Okay, so answer me this. So when you was diagnosed with the hypertension, what was the reading that they used to determine that you're hypertensive? How much was the pressure reading at that time?
165 over 68, and the pulse was 72 or something like that.
Do you usually test your pressure on a daily basis? And when do you test it?
At the morning and at evening at times.
Okay, so when you test in the morning, what do you usually get, and what do you get when you test on evenings?
Sometimes I will get like 120 something. Sometimes it might be 110.
Right.
It's under always excellent, but sometimes the upper goes up a little bit, like 161, 151. As this morning, it is 151.
Do you get problems to sleep?
Not really.
And any problem with any problem with anxiety? Like you feel like his heart racing off, that kind of thing?
Yes, I think
that is
something
it.
that's contributing to it.
That is exactly what it is. That's why the pressure reading. So because you can't be getting a diastolic at 63, you say, right?
Yes, always in the 60s.
Right, always in the 60s, which is excellent. But the systolic is over, that not matching, which means there's a hormonal situation, there is a anxiety situation contributing to that.
Oh, okay.
That is why that's happening. Yeah.
Okay.
So
then again, why that is diagnosed that I am diabetic and blood pressure and giving me these?
Well, you see, the thing is, I mean, you have to understand doctors work differently. And again, I was saying, you know, not to be facetious in any way, that, you know, there are certain things that you need to identify. So you notice the questions I ask you and how I frame the questions, because I know exactly what I was looking for. So they wouldn't do that simply because it's just different training. So I would label you as pre-diabetic. I wouldn't call you a diabetic. I would also say that you have a situation where you have some hormonal imbalance challenges, and nothing is wrong with that, because what a lot of women don't understand is that during premenopause, menopause, or post-menopause, which is after menopause, which you would have gone through already because you say you're 63, but you have to consider that hormonal changes women always experience. So the hormonal changes is going to cause an anxiety situation, and the anxiety situation is now going to cause a problem that appears to be hypertensive, but you're not hypertensive, because once you look at that diastolic number, you can't have a diastolic number at 63 and be telling me you're hypertensive. The systolic is, because systolic always reacts to emotion. Always. Okay. Your diastolic does not react to emotion. A lot of people don't know that. So it means that it's something with what we call the autonomic nervous system, which is sympathetic, parasympathetic, which brings on the anxiety. And because you're in a constant, now the thing is you would experience anxiety at specific points, but it's as if your body is consistently in a state of anxiety, and therefore is going to cause the systolic to give you a higher reading. So that is what we have to correct. And that not boasting there. I'm making sense, right? That is what separates me from a lot of doctors. I know my work inside out. Because from the time you start to talk and you tell me that, I done started to make 2 and 2 is 4. We need to take this, we need to shift this, we need to move this. I can fix that for you. You are pre-diabetic, but you are not hypertensive. And a HbA1c at 6.8 is a little over the number We don't want you there. We want you ideally like about a 5.8. All around there, we could work 5.8, maybe a 6 we could work with. So we need to chop off that 0.8. So to cut off that 0.8 now, we have certain things I would adjust in your diet and how you get up and your water and that kind of thing. And we fix that problem for you, man.
Okay, then.
All right?
Thanks so much.
You're very welcome, my dear. Take care.
Okay. Okay, then.
Okay. So let me just give those listeners quickly. If we have a call, just let me know. But the telephone number, so for the Shogunas office, that number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. For the Debe office, Debe is 223-7515. St. James is 220-8113. And Tobago, of course, is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number is 226-4553. Let me just answer someone quickly here on the live. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Ms. Pamela Moses. The individual had asked, when would we have a trained consultant in Tobago? And you're going to get that person in Tobago, God's willing, at the beginning of the new year. Because, you know, once everything is finished there, I will still be coming, but we'll be putting certain things in place for Tobago, as well as even doing lives, because I would do Zoom from Trinidad. As I said, I'm trying to make it in such a way that I'm able to deal with as much people as possible, as effective and efficiently, because I don't like to hear when people say, Dr. Batson, I have to wait 9 months before I see you. You know how much thing could happen in 9 months? So let us at least start to fix the problem. And notice, and again, I'm glad that lady called this morning, because you see what it is? I just talked to her over. I done figure out that already. I'm maths and physics. All I may do is send her to the office and let one of the consultants do the magnetic resonance scan, because I just want to see how much blood going into her brain, and as regards to the condition of the intestines, the liver, and that kind of thing. Once I get that information, that is it. Problem solved. In about 2 months, 3 months' time, no diabetes, no sugar. Problem fixed.
We have another call on the line. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, doctor.
We lost that call. Ooh. Give us a call back. We have another one on the line as well. Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Linda and doctor, good morning. I'm going to try to raise this video.
No, take off the radio, Not radio. Take it off, because we're getting feedback, darling. Take off that radio. Listen on your phone.
All right.
Yes, my dear.
Yeah, I'm calling. What happened to me this morning? Hi.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm calling to find out that 1 year child have a cold on the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'm getting a puff. And I told him, I said, well, let's do something about it. It's not good.
Okay, so the child is 1 year, and he has a problem with a cold on his chest.
Yes.
Does the child breastfeed still?
No.
Did he breastfeed at all?
Yes, before.
All right. Okay, that's that easy to fix, you know, man. The thing is, a lot of times children. So what you say, they give them a puff now? So is it what? They give them one of the puffs, the Ventolin, or some one of those puffs?
Yes, I don't know what it is, but
okay.
I must call find out.
Yeah, well, those normally fall in the category of
honey and olive oil, and give it to drink and thing.
Yeah, what you need to get. What you need to get for that child. There is a product that we carry called Silver with mineral formula. You need to get one of those. And there is also a product that we carry called the inflammation formula. Now, the mixture for that is going to be 1 tablespoon AM in just about a little bit of water. You're looking at maybe about 2 ounces of water. And you also take 1 teaspoon of the inflammation formula. Mix that, give him morning and evening, and in about two weeks, a month, that gone. You see, what they have is build up a mucus, which can be caused by a number of reasons, especially if the child wasn't breastfed for long, because I mean a year. If he's a year and he's breastfeeding, it means formula is being given, correct?
Well, yeah, before a year, because she also go back out to work. So
right. So the other stuff. So the thing is, we may also need to look at what. Sorry, go ahead.
She says from body milk and lipids for the.
Oh, she said express. Oh, okay, good. So she's still expressing?
No, I don't know.
All right. Well, okay. If she can still express, let her do it. That's going to help the situation, obviously, with the immune system. And then you need to be very careful what it is they're using. If you know there's interchanging and maybe the express milk and formula, you got to be careful because you don't want to use a formula that will add more mucus on the chest. But that recommendation I give you there, you do that, and in 2 2s that will go. Because what the mineral formula will do is break up. That is very advantageous for the immune system. And what it does is actually going to break up the mucus. And in feeding the child going forward, you all need to be very careful with the diet. You know, I tell persons, children are not too young to feed them well. You know, start to do certain things. I could always make some additional information for you guys, but definitely write that down. The silver with the mineral formula and the inflammation formula. And that's going to last that child quite a while, because that might last you all 2, 3, maybe up to 4 months. So he's going to get a proper thing, and he wouldn't have that situation again. All right? Okay, my dear. Take care of yourself. Let me say a pleasant good morning to my Antiguan client in the house. Miss Denise Hurst says good morning. Pleasant good morning to London as well. Miss Joan Williams Road says good morning, Dr. Batson. So keep in mind, we are live on Facebook and on Instagram. On Facebook, we are Batson and Associates Limited. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. Over to you, sir.
We have another call coming in. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Dr. Batson, I came by you.
Morning.
I came by. Morning. Dr. Batson, this is Angel, right?
Yes.
I came by you Thursday to get an eye drop for cataract.
Uh-huh.
So I said, I can't see where we go with the eye. I put in it drop 3 times a day.
Right.
I don't know.
Sorry, repeat it. I heard you're putting the drops 3 times a day, and I didn't hear the last part. What was the last part you said?
I still see a little dim in the eye.
Okay, but how long you start to use the eye drop? Recently, right?
Because on Thursday, I came on Thursday or Friday, or then 2 days or 2.
Okay. All right. Well, no, you need to get some time to work, man. Just make sure and shake it up when you're putting it in the eyes. Yeah. Because what it's going to do, remember, it's cataract. So what it's going to do is start to break up that. So maybe like when you get up early in the morning, you're seeing like anything looking like sand or a little mucus in the eye, that kind of thing?
Yes.
Well, right. Yes. So it's starting to actually pull out. And because remember, that eye drop is a detoxifier for the eyes, you know. So it's going to start to break up the cataract. Cataract is mineral buildup on the lens of your eye, you know. And a lot of people have a lot of mucus in their eyes, especially people who suffer from sinus. Because when you have a lot of sinus or mucus in the sinus areas, it affects the eyes. So what the eye drop is going to do is just start to take that out and clean it up. So give it some time. Just make sure and drink your water. God's willing, when we get, you could always call whichever office and let them know that when we get the IT, let them know that you want some, so that it'll just call it so that you can get some. So that will help that situation as well.
But I will send James.
Okay, so yeah, just call and ask Miss Eleanor. Tell her you spoke to Dr. Batson, and when you all get IT, keep some for you. And she will call you when we get it.
Let the call.
You could call her Monday, please, God.
And how much for it?
When you call her, she'll tell you.
Oh, okay, because I did a surgery for cataract on the left hand.
Right, and you don't want to do the next one.
Yeah. And my sister passed away. When I went to do the next one, it was COVID, so they didn't do any no more deal.
Right. Well, okay. Yeah, we could.
So I left it for radio, and they said I went back to and get it eye drop, and it worked real good.
Yeah, that eye drop is work real good, man.
And in the radio station, I get the number, and I went to St. James Station.
All right, good. So you're on the right road now. Just give it a little time, and I suggest you add the IT, and you could also use some of the Alkagen water as well. All right?
Okay, I'll call them Monday, right?
All right, my dear.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
What water you wash the eye?
Beg your pardon?
What water you said to use to wash the eye?
No, not to wash the eye. Tell them to let you get some of the Alkagen water.
Okay, then, thanks.
All right, my dear. Take care.
Okay.
So we have some messages coming in,
Mm-hmm.
quite a few. Hi, good morning, Doc. What is the name of the powder that the last caller used to lose the weight?
Oh, it wasn't the powder. It was, I like that. Somebody who find they lose too much weight, somebody called to find out because they want to lose weight. Yeah, they had used the advanced chlorophyll they used. So the chlorophyll that we carry is not only chlorophyll alone, right? It has chlorophyll. There's something we carry in there, a little Nigella sativia. It has some this thing in it, some neem as well, which is why the diabetics find when they use it, the blood sugar goes down, and it actually helps with weight loss. So that is what you could find out. The mineral, the advanced chlorophyll is what it is they had used with the alkagen water.
All right, we have another caller. Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. No, go ahead. I said morning.
Oh, good morning.
Yeah.
I sent a WhatsApp earlier stating that my fasting glucose was 75, high cholesterol 138.
Oh, right. Yes, I remember. That was the question. Good.
Yeah.
Right.
The first WhatsApp.
Right.
You said that I don't have diabetic. I'm not diabetic. But my first test, my A1C, at 2018, it was 7.2.
7.2. Okay, right.
Yes. And my plasma was 163.
Right.
That was that. But now it's different.
Right. Okay. So the thing is, most people. Let me explain something quickly to you. The point of the diagnosis could have been a diabetic situation. If you understand what I'm saying, a diabetic situation doesn't make you diabetic. If you follow me.
Okay.
Right. And that's the next thing a lot of doctors don't understand. So I'll give you an example. There was a person I worked with. They came to me and they had a blood sugar of 500 and something. It was ridiculous. Now, the thing is, this person is a young professional and they were actually going to university. So everybody know when you're studying university is not one of the easiest places. And the course was a very hard course. So the person was under a lot of stress. A lot of the times, the stress is going to give you a very high blood sugar and blood pressure reading. Now, our A1C is the estimate of your blood sugar over 90 days, which makes it good, which makes it a more reliable test. So what I would have done in that situation, as I say, doctors work different. Me, looking at our A1C at 7.2, and I say, okay, I ask you 1 or 2 questions, how much water you're drinking, that kind of thing. At that time, and answer me honestly, you think at that time you used to drink water? How you're supposed to?
No.
Exactly so. So we don't have one. So one, we know you have a problem with dehydration. So that's going to account for it. Right? Then we're going to have to look at, I don't know if you 2018, if you had any kind of stress, if you lost a family member, any of those type of things. Because stress usually always sends your vitals ridiculous. So the thing is, if you're stressed out for a year or 2 years, you remember that covering over the period of the A1C. A lot of people don't understand what stress does to the human body, including all of your vitals. So all I am simply saying, I would have worked the situation differently. But it means now, if you're looking at 2018, we're now 2022, we're looking at 4 years after, you would have been on medication for a period of time, and now you would have you would have made some changes to your diet, I'm sure.
Yes, I have.
Good. So it means now that you need to be reevaluated. You don't have to be in a diabetic situation again, because if you're taking medication and your blood glucose is 75, I have a problem with that. Because it means, okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever experienced...
That's the last time I asked the doctor to regulate my medication, and he said that the medication is what's keeping it at that level.
No, but 75 is too low, and that is what I tell you again, not trying to make anybody sound duncy, but did he not use any common sense? He not use any common sense. I totally disagree with that. So he telling you the medication keep you like that. Let me tell you something. If you continue eating, well, you didn't deal with me yet. So farmer, if it is I jump in that dance day, it means we're going to get our sugar down even low. So what I going to do? Leave you on medication with a sugar of 45? I'm trying to kill you? That don't make any sense. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then think about this. Let me ask you a question. You ever had any situation where your blood sugar went too low in the night and you had to get up and use something sweet or something? That ever happened to you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, you're
Have
like,
you ever been in the
told me
night?
about keeping something sweet by my bed just in case it went low, but I have no idea if it went low.
well,
You
right.
feel weak.
But you don't have any problems where you feel weak or anything like that? Okay, so let me ask the question different. What's the lowest blood glucose you ever get?
Give me a sec, I have my book here.
Yeah, tell me.
Let's see, 99, 91, 93, 87. It usually stays within 90, between 110 and 90.
Let me ask you something. What kind of weight you're carrying? Give me an average.
I have lost a lot of weight in this year. I was at roughly 300 pounds at the beginning of the year. And
Right.
now I am at 200 pounds.
Very good.
I got sick in February, and because of that, I lost a lot of weight.
You lost some weight. Right. So you see, so that's it. So now your the glycemic index. So what you have to pay attention. So it means your metabolism already started to change already, because of that weight loss. So you cannot, so what you need to do, what I suggest you do, if it is you could, which area are you from? Just give me a general. South, okay, right. So you could always visit my office in St. James. Let me do, tell me.
I did the consultation already.
Oh, you did the consultation. Okay, with who, Mr. Green?
Mr. Batson.
Oh, Bastamante, Renee. All right, good.
Yeah.
All right. So what I will do, I will take a look at that. You could always call the office and just tell them to tell Dr. Batson to look at your file. And I will just run over some things. What I could tell you, try and add some quinoa to your diet. If you already, I don't know if you're already using it, but that is something that's going to help you.
I'm using rice right now. He told me not to use too much rice, but
yeah.
I have a problem with eating. I can't eat much food.
Because
my diet right now is apples and water.
Okay, so but why you can't eat much food? Is it that what you having problem with bad feeling or something?
Yeah.
So you have a problem with digestion. So is it okay? So do you get proper bowel? Do you get proper bowel movement, or you get some challenges in that area sometimes?
I get challenges.
Right. So that's what we need to do now. So do me that favor. Monday, today is what? Sunday, Monday. I am in St. James, and on Friday, please God, just let them know, give them your name, and tell them that Dr. Batson, ask Dr. Batson to give you a call. Normally, when I finish work, they would leave files. So whoever I need to call, I'll call you over the phone, and I will dot your I's and cross your T's. But we will fix that, man.
So call in tomorrow and
yeah, just let them know who you are. Tell them you're a client with us. Give them your name, and you spoke to Dr. Batson on the radio, and he asked that they put aside the file when he comes on Friday to call you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, my dear. Take care.
You too.
All right.
We have some more messages coming in. Hi, good morning. Can you ask Dr. Batson, what is a good diet for someone who has a pacemaker implant and has hypertension and diabetes?
Okay, whoa, okay. Pacemaker. Hypertension and diabetes. Do you think it's your diet? Sorry?
Have a call.
Well, let's take the call and then I'll answer. We want to keep the person waiting.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Dr. Batson and Lyndon.
Good morning.
Dr. Batson, I'll get the number, right?
All right, my dear. There's Miss Marie. There's Miss Belinda. Very good.
Okay, so Dr. Batson, number one, my husband, I had told you about my husband where another calling doctor was saying he probably has to
yes, I remember. Yeah, irritable bowel. I remember good.
So we came and everything, and he started using everything, and praise the Lord, he is getting a lot of relief. So, but they called him a few weeks, about 2 weeks ago, and they were supposed to call him back the following day to make an appointment, and they didn't.
Okay.
So,
all right. Yeah, I pay attention. That's which office? St. James or Shogunas?
St. James, yes.
St. James. Okay. All right. Well, you'll do me a favor. Just give them a reminder for me, please. And I will I'll organize the appointment. One of the things we do, we cannot change our system. We computerize and everything now, so we kind of have some a little data issue. Yeah, it's not any data loss. We just put in everything for connectivity and that kind of thing. So I know there were some persons that kind of, you know, it shifted the appointments. So just give them a reminder for me, please, on Monday, please, God. And I will think. But he's going good so far.
He's going good, but I think that that's such a lengthy break in him coming. I think it's like, to me, like it's a reversion.
Oh, you think it's reoccurring? It wants to reoccur?
I want it to be continuous. I want the treatment to be continuous.
Okay,
because
good.
to be like, you know, if you break for a week or 2 weeks, it's like you're just to the old way.
Oh, okay, good, cool. All right, no problem. All right, well, I'll organize that and I'll do the consultation that he will be able to come and see me and we'll go from there.
Right, that's number one. Number two, I need to see you too because I've heard you talking about the drinking the water. What is that? I am so guilty of that. That killed my dad.
Yeah.
Because his whole body poisoned him. And when he died in 2009, I started all hot and sweaty drinking water, and now I'm down to like 16 ounces for the day.
Whoa, no. You gotta fix that.
Yes, and I go to the bathroom, honestly, like once for the week.
Whoa,
so
yeah.
I feel like I'm a walking time bomb also. So that's another thing. And but one of the main reasons I did call you though, in my mind when I turned to the station, I was thinking, I wonder if Dr. Batson never heard anything about myasthenia gravis. And then in 2 seconds they say, myasthenia gravis.
Yeah.
I have a girlfriend who is suffering with this myasthenia gravis.
Yeah, I have a few patients are dealing with that right now.
I'm watching my best friend just going down the street.
That is my show.
Friday, and they're telling her, they send her to Barataria, you know, they send her to the mad place in the field.
Yeah. That's what we call the dustbin diagnosis. When they can't fix you and they can't get better, they tell you you're mad and they get tablets to sleep. Normal thing. Yeah. I could sort that out, man. I have some people I dealing with that and they're getting some very, very good results. It requires some work because it is a challenge, but it's a dietary. Those people have deficiencies for years, especially as young children growing up. Their diets may have been deficient, unknowing to their parents, and as a result of that is why they have that diagnosis. But those things could be corrected. And I have patients who get in some very, very good results.
That myasthenia gravis can be corrected because right now they're telling her, don't take no vitamins. Her immune system is her greatest enemy. No.
Yeah, because you see the thing is,
don't take that.
No. She just needs the correct direction because myasthenia gravis, like all autoimmune conditions, and primarily all sickness in general is an autoimmune situation. Some just more aggressive than others. But auto is self-immune or auto, but there's something known as auto-intoxication, which all autoimmune conditions have in common. And medical doctors just don't know that because look, for example, rheumatoid arthritis is parasite in your bones, right? So rheumatoid arthritis patients will always have swelling and pain in their joints because of the inflammatory response, the immune system. But the immune system is doing what it's supposed to do. It is removing trouble or removing threats from an area that it has no right to be. You're not supposed to have parasite in your bones. What are they doing there? So your immune system is going and do what it's supposed to. The police going to escort the bandit and them out of there because they have no right to be there. So the body is doing what it's supposed to do, you know. And that's what people don't understand. So with myasthenia gravis, which gives you a same kind of autoimmune situation where you have degeneration of the musculoskeletal system. So the bones literally tend to waste away. The musculoskeletal system is not functioning properly. So what we need to do now is deal with the root cause. What is going on with the gut? Those people have bad gut problems. I tell you, your gut is a kind of place. Listen to me. You gotta see it to believe it in some people. But I could correct that situation. So
the problem is her feet and they say that shit all in her mind, but you're actually seeing her foot black.
And she's going to be very tired. It'll be tired. The exhaustion is ridiculous with people with myasthenia gravis. Yeah, it's really, really bad.
Because she can't hold up herself.
Yes, they can't walk. And no, we could help her with that. We could help her with that. All right?
Okay, doctor, and you said with my husband now I should
call on Monday and let Miss Eleanor know once it is your available. I have a makeup day for St. James week after next, which will most likely either be Monday or Tuesday, but I'm not sure. But let her at least just tell her to do it, and we would try and most likely set it for Friday. If not, it would be the next week. But let her know.
Yes, we would love to see you, because
yeah.
he came and
Bustamante, yeah.
Right, okay. But he would really like to speak with you. I know you can't see everybody, so, but
I make the necessary adjustments. So at least let her know so that she could place him for Friday. Friday coming, which is going to be, that is what, the 11th? No, that's the 10th.
Well,
yeah.
Friday.
Yes, Friday. I think it's the 10th.
Okay, sure.
All right.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Yeah, it's actually the 11th. Yeah, the 11th. Okay, you're welcome.
Okay. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yes, let me say quickly too, we continuing on this program. When we finish here, I promise you guys, so let me say it while I'm on Sky so everyone could hear. I'm going to do a program for you guys tonight. That was to make up for last week. And I usually do the evening program, but I wouldn't do it every Sunday, of course. Yeah, I don't want to go. I want to make sure I not get licks when I go home. So I will do for you this Sunday, God's willing. So we're going to have a program this evening at 7:30. So we go from 7:30 to 9:30. That'll be 2 hours. And that'll be on the lives, which would be Facebook, Batson and Associates Limited, Instagram, Batson and Associates TT, and YouTube, Batson and Associates Trinidad. So what you can do, you could actually ask your questions on that there. Actually type out the questions and I'll try and answer as much questions there as possible. Because I know it would have some of you guys here that I would not have been able to take your questions. So I'll at least try and facilitate you with the live later on. Just get on early and put in your questions and I will go through question by question and answer as much as I can. All right. So that'll be tonight at 7:30, God's willing.
Take some more questions.
Yes, sir. Yeah. You just let me know how my time is running.
All right. We've gone till 1:30.
Okay, great.
All right. So we have another question. Good morning. Blessed day to you all, Dr. Batson. I have knee osteoarthritis. What can you recommend for me, please?
Knee osteoarthritis. Okay, so I don't know your weight. I am hoping that you carry a reasonable weight. Always keep in mind, if you have any knee situation, your weight is something you should always take into consideration. So it may involve losing some weight to deal with that. So take that into consideration. You're looking at inflammation formula. Of course, your water. Look at that. That's very important. So once you could get some alkaline water. Start with that. If you're accustomed drinking your body weight divided by 2 ounces in water, then what you could add the inflammation formula, the omega with the astaxanthin, as well as the optimizer and joint tea. And once you do that, you should start to get some results. I also suggest you get some CMOS. CMOS and your musculoskeletal system is very, very good friends, and it helps with cartilage and those type of things. Keep in mind your body has what? I think 106 somewhere around their minerals. CMOS has 98. So make use of it.
A question we didn't get to touch on, we end up going to the call.
Mm-hmm.
The person was, what would you suggest is a good diet for someone with a pacemaker and they're hypertensive and diabetic?
Oh, good. Okay, so diet-wise now there has to be some supplementation in that. We could always, most likely you're looking at consultation aspect where that is concerned. What I will tell you off the top of my head, plate your food. So with plating food, that's something we don't do in the Caribbean. So when we say plate food, what we mean is that you separate your food in such a way. So half your plate should be, in that particular case, protein. You want some complex carbohydrates, which should be quarter the plate. Your protein could be half and half. So you could have meat, but like ideally fish. If you're doing things like chicken, try and see if you could get those as healthy as possible. Because we can have a challenge with that chicken situation. And that's all over.
What is healthy?
Organic. When you get all these, especially the bigger these chicken and them, look, there are all kind of thing inside of them. So you need to be careful. All right.
How should we prepare that chicken?
Bake.
The best
All your all meat should either be steam, grill, bake. Those are the best way to steam, grill, bake. So you have less oil, you have thing. When you start to stew and curry and fancy up thing, no. You start to make thing to kill yourself. Yeah. Right? So as I was saying, in the plating of the food, you're looking at, so I would say like grilled fish, baked fish, once, budget allows, that kind of thing. Your other sources of protein, you could use your P-type protein, so things like chana. Hummus is actually a good thing. Hummus is where, they make the chana, they boil it and they mash it up and they put olive oil and those type of things in. I love that. I find that's a very good protein source, especially for someone who has cardiovascular problems, where you don't want to be on the red meats. You don't want to go on red meats. What again? You're looking at your salads. So you could do things like your salads with like kale, lettuce, the spinach. You could add some fruits in there. I know you said you're diabetic, but that doesn't mean you cannot have fruits. The healthier ones, you could do like the green skin apple. You cut that up and put it in the salad as well. Make the salad interesting. Because you're diabetic doesn't necessarily mean that you do not use sweet. It just means the type of sweet. So a diabetic sweet or should get the sugar from things like complex carbohydrates. So like your provision, your sweet potato, your dasheen, your Edos, things like raisins. So like if you're doing your bran in the morning, you should do not necessarily like your oats, and you do like maybe a muesli where you have some almond nuts, some cashew nuts mixed up inside of that with a little raisins. Because you're diabetic doesn't mean you don't have to use raisins. Remember, as a diabetic, you need sugar, but it depends on the type of sugar. That's what is important. Right? Your boiled eggs, also a good option. Do not throw away the yellow of the egg for me, please. I don't care what they tell you about cholesterol. The yellow of the egg is the most fundamental part. If you get common fowl, even better. Right now, I garden my common fowl egg. I behave bad for that. Nobody in the house could use that. I behave terrible. Do not interfere with that. It's real trouble. That's my own. Right? That's very important. And once you do that, you're going to get some supplemental-wise. Optimizer is a product going to help you. Nerve Restore will help you because I'm going to help the central nervous system, the electrolyte balance in the body. I'm a big advocate of L-arginine. There's a product we carry, which is a pro-arginine product. I like that product because it's not too sweet. They use natural sweeteners, but it helps with the nitric oxide concentration and bringing up your nitric oxide levels. Nitric oxide is very important for any and everybody because especially men. Proper erection, proper concentration, proper cardiovascular function. Let me explain something to you quickly before we finish. You cannot, you will not, you shall not get any cardiovascular incident once your nitric oxide levels are optimal. If you never take any notes, ever take that piece of note. Your nitric oxide levels, once they're optimum, and I've given this information on numerous occasions. I told persons, let me tell you something. The man who won the Nobel Prize in 1998 is a gentleman by the name of Professor Louis Ignarro. There isn't a book that man write that I do have. I have all his books. There is also a doctor known as, by the name of Siva Aruna Salam. He's one of the foremost stenting authorities in the world. You know a stent, right? Stent is what it is put in people to make sure when they say you have cardiovascular. He is the foremost authority on stents in the world. One of the best. He has a clinic out in the United States, somewhere in Florida or some kind of thing. And these people advocate the use of nitric oxides. They are not integrative doctors. They're not an integrative doctor like me. These are medical doctors. These are MD. One win a Nobel Prize. You know what it is for to win a Nobel Prize? It means you're not a dum-dum. This man is one of the most intelligent people in his field. There was a doctor by the name of Dr. Pendergrass. He did all his research was on diabetic patients. That man bring back thousands of diabetic patients using nitric oxide. So the research is out there. So when it are foolish, dunce people telling you, and I say that this morning with no apology, that you mustn't use this and this can fix. You have to understand that not everybody went the same school. And I am very proud to say that. I do not have any desire to be a medical doctor. And the reason for that is because I have found what I love to do, and this is what I love to do. Let me stay in my little corner here. Me vex with nobody. Me, I don't quarrel with people. I don't have time for that. But as I tell you all, you have to make common sense made before book. The information is out there. So when people telling you, but you can't use this and you're not supposed to use that and that ain't good, says who? Says who? So because all you learn to do is cut off people's foot and dig out their eye, it means everybody else stripping? No, Trinidad and Tobago. It don't work so. It don't work so at all. Common sense make before book. Them old midwife, them old long-time midwife and them, how much baby them deliver? They had what we had now. Them women long time used to make children better than these people and never have here now. No? Or they're making children, or they can walk, or they can talk, or they are polycystic ovaries, fibroids of parents. My mother and great-grandmother and them didn't have them problems. You know why? Because of the diet. You have to understand, not everything they make and call food and tell all is food or they must eat. Some of y'all is too licorice. Greedy. The greediness is what killing some of all you. It's not good for you. Stop eating it. That does not change the fact. I need to name this program. You know what's the name of this program today? The truth is the truth regardless of how you look at it. So just as I started the program with the water, you don't like water, fine, tick. You don't like how water tastes, tick. You don't have time to drink water, tick. That does not negate the fact that you are killing yourself and you will die of dehydration. End of story. It has no maths and physics in that. So because you feel a particular way about something, make it right now, man. You're mad at what? You really need to send your down center and something in your head is screwing good. The only people do the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, is mad people. Albert Einstein, one of the most intelligent men that has ever lived. But he was a practical man. And that is what you have to do. You have to have some practicality in the thing. So we understand, okay, with my time here now, we are basically out of time. So keep in mind for that program tonight, I am giving you all a live. We are Batson & Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson & Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson & Associates Trinidad. The contact number for our Shoguna's office, keep in mind, we have consultation. We have our special, we also have our pensioner package with the blood. That's something we put together. So once you're pensioning, that package is for you. So the number for Shoguna's is located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Shoguna's. That telephone number is 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramsamouch Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That telephone number is 223-7515, 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number is 220-8113, 220-8113. Tobago is Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number is 226-4553. And to book your online consultation, those of you abroad, our area code, of course, for Trinidad is 868. The number is 373-2388. Again, that's 868-373-2388. Keep in mind, this evening, God's willing, 7:30, bright and early. We're starting, and we will go till 9:30. Maybe I might stretch it a little bit to 10 for you guys. So get your questions ready. All you who have friends who have something wrong with them, their head ain't bad, their neck ain't bad, their liver ain't bad, whoever ain't bad, let them know. Come on the live and let's see if we could help some people. Sir, it was a pleasure being in your company, sir.
Always a pleasure. Always
to the listeners
pleasure.
of Sky 99.5, thank you very much for allowing me to your household. Thank you for giving me a listening ear. I tried my best to behave very good today and not buff up anybody. But all in all, the buff is a buff of love. So take care of yourself today. Not too much macaroni pie, half pie, and more salad. All right?
That's right.
As we always say at Batson & Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. God bless. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take care.
You too, Dr. Batson.
Yes, Facebook. Yes, Trinidad and Tobago. Pamela Moses. Doc question, is your troponin, or if your troponin is 0.16, is that a good result, or does that mean that you have blocked arteries? All right, Ms. Moses. Well, here, what I'm going to answer that question this evening for you, right, my dear? So, Josie Smith says, bye-bye, Dr. Batson. So those of you who you had questions here and I wasn't able to answer a question, keep in mind, if you could utilize the advantage of that live this afternoon at 7:30, take advantage of that, as well as persons on our social media as regards to Instagram. Keep in mind on Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. And on Facebook, we are Batson and Associates Limited. All right? So that telephone number again, keep in mind your information. We have our eye optics formula. We have our optimizer. We have Santulan. We have eye optics formula. To the products we don't have, y'all, just be a little patient with us. We're working around all the stress and the situations. Teas y'all going to get very soon, right? So as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Honeybee, this man, Betty Handsome, oh Lord. Yeah, Honeybee, I'm taking that. Thank you so very much. So God bless. Love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. You're very welcome, Miss Pearl Henry Rajpal. So later, guys, 7:30. Take care. Bye-bye.